Hellwalker Pet by OK Examination 69. The Hellwalker is going to be difficult to keep, sir, the insect-faced pet seller said. That does not matter, Izg, Fowey's father said. He was not a big elf, but he was solid. His alabaster skin was taut with muscle, and his metallic golden hair was cut to his shoulders. His face was scarred with plasma fire, and one of his pointed ears had been burned off in the Beatrix Elfine War. Still, he walked with the grace of a predator, and managed to make his scarred face look exotic, rather than repulsive. I will make sure to discipline it. I'll take good care of it, Fowey said as well. She was almost as different from her father as can be. She was tall, standing at 6 nulots, and with an awkward and spindly figure and an easy face. Her blonde hair was braided and had many gems glittered in them. Izg, the city's most prominent pet seller, answered her father first. That's not how it works, sir, he said, rubbing his wings in a particular pattern. Hellwalkers respond to any attempts at discipline with aggression. You can't treat it like a pet. You have to treat it like a person. It'll be fine, Izg, Fowey said. I can take care of it. I have a Jacati at home. I can handle a Hellwalker. Izg looked at her and his wings vibrated again. The translator in her ear told her that it was doubt that he was expressing. Fowey was about to open her mouth again when her father cut her off. Can we see the Hellwalker? Izg nodded and guided them through the metal hallways of the 10-story pet store and up the elevator to the highest floor. You must forgive me for not having a faster elevator, since it would scare the animals, Izg said when he noticed Fowey's frustrated look. Fowey blinked, not realizing she let her impatience show. She nodded in understanding and gave a smile to Izg. Once they reached the 10th floor, Izg led them to what looked like someone's room. Maybe this was Izg's room and he kept the Hellwalker in it? Izg brought out an identification card and held it up to the reader. The door beeped and opened silently. Immediately, a wave of musky, salty smell wafted from the room. It was not overpowering, but it was noticeable. The room was very strange. It was very large, and had a large bed in it, and it was filled with gym equipment, except the equipment were also scaled up quite a bit. The reason was, of course, because of the Hellwalker, which had been doing pull-ups on the bars. The most outstanding thing about Fowey's newest pet was that it was huge. It was tall, so tall that her head only came up to its chest. The thing was also muscular, not grotesquely muscular like the orcs, but enough so that Fowey was able to see all of its muscles bulging out. The Hellwalker was elfine in shape, with 2 legs, 2 arms, and 1 head. But no one would ever confuse the beast for an elf, even disregarding its size. Its eyes were too small, its figure too wide, its ears rounded, its skin too dark. Despite the differences, there was no doubt that there were many similarities between the Hellwalker and elves. Enough so that Fowey started to wonder if the Hellwalker was sapient. All doubts of its sapience disappeared once she looked at its black, dead eyes. There was no glow that all sapients had. This was an animal which was a byproduct of evolution, not a race created by the Mayan pantheon. Why does it smell? Fowey asked. Izg's answer was a little hesitant. I think it's trying to attract a mate. Is it mating season? Not necessarily. Hellwalkers don't have mating seasons. They're almost always ready and able to reproduce. You must forgive me for not providing much information. They are very rare creatures, so there isn't much study on them. It won't try humping the furniture, will it? Fowey asked. Worry not, ma'am. Hellwalkers are intelligent enough to differentiate between household objects and a mate. Fowey nodded. What does it eat? Anything, really, Izg said with his species form of a shrug. As long as it's not too rotten or too poisonous, you can eat it. Anything I should know about before buying? Izg was silent for a moment. Ma'am, Hellwalkers are difficult pets to take care of. If I may, I would suggest that you take a temporary helper to help you take care of the Hellwalker. Fowey's mood darkened immediately. How dare he assume that she would be incompetent? The nerve of the insect. She opened her mouth, ready to flay the poor Ichthian, but was interrupted by her father. That would be a wise choice, Isk. We cannot be too careful of an unknown element. He gave Fawi a significant look, forcing her to stifle her anger. Very good, sir. The Hellwalker, along with the caretaker, will be sent to your house tomorrow. You can give it your payment then, if you wish, sir. That will be all right, Isk. At this point, the Hellwalker made a series of very deep sounds. Fawi almost jumped out of her skin when she heard the grunts that filled the entire room. Her father's hand shot to the gun on his belt. Isk, surprisingly, did not react. Instead, he waved his hands at the beast, and then waved at them. The beast seemed to understand something, and turned back to its exercise. Did it understand what you said? Fawi asked. It understood something. Hellwalkers are very intelligent. Fawi's father had other worries. Is it violent? Isk seemed to think for a moment. Not usually. If it has food and shelter, and if nothing is threatening it, it's as gentle as a fluga. Also, if it takes a liking to you, it will be the best guard you will ever have. The subtle doubt that had been lurking behind Fawi's father disappeared at the mention of the Hellwalker being used as a guard animal. Very well, he said. You will receive your payment tomorrow.